Welcome to the Winners Enclosure podcast, where we're going to look ahead to the Cheltenham Festival 2020. I'm joined by Alan McAnally, former footballer, Bayern Munich, Celtic, and of course Aston Villa. You've been going to the festival for a long, long time, and you normally leave without that much in your pocket. So we're going to turn that around this year.
That was following him. When you introduced him, that was the reason I didn't make a lot of money. It was following Llewellyn. But yes, I've been going a long, long time, and it's the highlight of the year in the national hunt, isn't it?
Well, let's turn to Llewellyn. You've ridden 7 festival winners. You've also ridden 2 Grand National winners, and you live just a stone's throw from Cheltenham itself. I mean, we've got to start by saying, how soft is it going to be? Because that's the absolute key question for the whole meeting, really.
I think it's going to be very soft. It's going to start off very soft anyway. We've had an enormous amount of rain, as the whole country has. And you walk on the fields near the gallops, and I've never known it as wet. I mean, it's absolutely sodden. And we had more rain again yesterday, so that's topped it up again.
And we've more to come as well, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, I think it'll just keep topping up. So I think it's going to start very soft, and then some forecasters are saying it's going to dry up a little bit during the week. So it might end up being sort of good to soft by maybe Thursday, Friday time. But it's definitely going to start off very soft.
And how quickly does it dry up once the rain stops?
Pretty quick at Cheltenham. They've got very good drainage there. And it does dry up quite quick there, but I'm sure it's not going to be.
They can change part of the gallops as well, can't they? I suppose if they move can they move
They move rails,
they
move them
a little bit.
I mean, obviously the first 2 days are on the one course and then they swap.
Yeah.
But we've known before it to be very soft at the start of the week, and then they've been watering by for the third
so
day.
Every horse I tip is going to be extra
You're
heavy.
Blame
soft.
The ground.
Extra heavy soft. That'll be it.
Throughout this episode, we're going to look at who we think is going to be top trainer, top jockey, different combinations. Let's start by picking our nap of the week.
I want to have Benny to do, but Paisley Park, I mean, it's not really a punting race for me if I'm looking for something that would be climbing the hill at maybe 10s and 12s and 14s or something, but you guys will know better. Every time I've watched Paisley Park, I think he was going to get beat. We've just spoken about the ground having been soft. I don't think that'll be a problem for Paisley Park, and he finishes his races better than any horse at that kind of distance. He's climbing the hill. I think when other horses are chucking it, I think he's an absolute certainty.
There's not a lot to find faults in him. I know he's not a flash horse that's ever going to stride away and win by 20 lengths, and he definitely hits flat spots in his race, but he's so solid, isn't he?
But at that price, I think he's it depends a lot on how the race is ridden. If they wanted to get him beat, you'd go very steady, because he takes a long time to warm up, and he does have a flat spot.
Why does he have that flat spot, Carl? I mean, genuinely.
Loads of horses.
Is it a stamina thing? Is it a breathing thing?
Well, he probably has to get his breath and just get a blow in. He gets that flat spot early enough in the race.
Yeah.
He can then get his breath, and off he goes again. He's very, very impressive then, and just does enough. But if they went steady in the race, I mean, for me, Johnny Burke is a big part of this race. Somerville Boy, if he went steady and made it more of a sprint over the last 4 furlongs or so.
And he's probably the main danger as well. He's realistically the one that's likely to chase him home. If he dictated it in a way that would play to their strengths.
But if you set out, obviously you don't do this, but if you set out as a team of jockeys to get Paisley Park beat, you go very, very steady.
Does that happen?
No, it wouldn't. It couldn't happen. No, and Johnny Burke has got to ride his horse to finish the best possible place for himself, which the way he's ridden actually is to go a real good gallop. But if he goes a good gallop, he plays into Paisley Park's strengths, into his hands, and so he should probably go steady and quicken up from down the hill and get Paisley Park in trouble down the hill. Actually, then he'll take too long to get going.
But surely then, when you look at all the wins that he's had, Carl, someone must have had that tactic already in their mind. It's not just going to happen just because of Cheltenham. Somebody's obviously tried to say, okay, let's try and beat him.
Well, the fact is he's the best horse, and he's a very good horse. Yeah. And so unless they get it, they probably have to go to extremes to do it. I think they need to have him so that he's actually his flat spot is very late in the race, and he hasn't got time to get going again.
I can get him beat.
Back him.
Cannot get beat, Paisley Park. There you go. That should be enough.
So you don't think he's a banker of the week?
At that price, I wouldn't get involved. I think it's too short, because there is a chance he could get beat because of that flat spot, and that's just the one small box that isn't ticked for me with him. So it's a very interesting race to watch. Whether you're betting on it or not, I think it'd be very interesting.
Were you surprised that they didn't supplement Benny Dada for the champion hurdle?
No.
Given that the champions an open race this year and a winnable race this year.
Very much so. It's a very open race. It's one of them probably, so many champion hurdles have got 3 or 4 real good champion hurdle horses, and you could run it 4 times, you get 4 different winners.
Yeah.
But this year it does look weaker than normal.
If she lines up, it's, I mean, at the moment they're saying that, but you never quite know whether they might change tact.
No, but if
it's a phenomenal race, the two of them.
Yeah, it is. I think that it'd be a great race between the two of them if they both lined up. But otherwise,
try to think of an outsider with Apple's Jade. No.
On her best form.
Yeah.
On her best form.
Over the ground.
But, seems to go on most of it, doesn't it? But as it stands at the moment, it's them two.
Envoy Allen's obviously got a couple of entries, but I think it's probably likely to go the route of the Ballymore. At about even money with Bet Victor, are you thinking that seems short? I do.
Yeah, it is short, but it reflects the quality of the race or the quality of the horse. And he's a past Cheltenham winner, been very impressive. Well, he's not a flash horse. He doesn't come there swinging away on the bridle and win very easily, but he digs it out, he grinds it out. And I think soft ground around Cheltenham, that's what they're going to need.
And of course he's a proven festival winner, having won the bumper. There's been a lot of hype about him. I did a Cheltenham preview actually last night, and every one of the panel, and they were, I'll go into it, it was Nicky Henderson, Paul Keeley, Harry Skelton, Joe Chambers, they all wanted to take him on. None of them were impressed, and they think he's a huge hype horse. It was quite interesting, because normally, with a horse at that price, you'll get 2 out of the 4 that are sort of saying that are pushing. But, where was he really going at the line last time? I know he keeps delivering. He hasn't done anything wrong yet, but at the price, he's skinny.
I just think that Cheltenham soft ground is going to be a horse that can grind it out, and he
horses
does grind
horses,
it out.
Carl. Horses do like Cheltenham. There are some horses that are just
keep going back. Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Why is it a track that we see so many repeat festival winners?
It's to have the fairest track in the country for the best horses. You'd pick a big flat track like Newby or something like that.
Yeah. Doncaster.
Them sort of places. And Cheltenham's got so many little idiosyncrasies. It's you start off the 2 mile race, whatever. You start off a long, steady uphill pull, round not a sharp bend, but it goes quite steep, and then they whip down a hill, and they go quick down that hill. Whatever race they're in, they get away from you down there, and they start racing from a long way out. By the time they get down to around the water jump area, whether it's hurdles or fences, people are starting to squeeze. Yeah. And if I walk the course every year, and you get to the end of the back straight, and you stop at the end of the back straight and look up to where the winning post is, it's a hell of a long way. And that is after you've gone a right good gallop for the first half of the race.
So you need everything. You've got to stay, you've got to travel, and you've got to jump, haven't you?
Yeah, you've got to have a high cruising speed. You've got to really stay, and when they quicken up, you've got to go with them to a certain extent. There's not many horses you can say, well, I'm just going to sit here and let them all go. Yeah. They turn at the top of the hill, and they all roll down the hill, and you've got to go with them.
That fence is one of the, is it the chase fence? Was it 3 out, Carl, when they come to the one down the hill? There's been loads of big horses have probably got to this, have fallen at that particular fence, and I always think if I've ever had a bet, I'm thinking if I can clear that, I've maybe got a chance. But then again,
I'm not sure there have been that many winning bets, have there? Have there been many where 3 out you're still in contention?
We have to go back a few years.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the reason you're saying, because they've been going flat out, whether it's 2 miles or 3 miles at times.
That's right. And they're running down that. I mean, that fence has been moved a bit now, but there was loads of casualties at it, and they start getting towards the end of the race, so the oxygen level's getting a bit low, and they start to squeeze all the way down that hill. And
which will be a big thing at Cheltenham this year, if the ground's going to be that little bit more testing than previous years.
Would you rather have the ground at Cheltenham good to firm or very soft?
Very soft.
Would you?
Yeah. I think. People say about being a horrible ground. I don't like that term, horrible ground. Horrible's a bad word, isn't it? It's just soft ground. And we've got National Land horses and their jumpers, and they should be able to go on soft ground.
That,
and you find it safer ground?
Yeah, it's proven safer. Yeah. The softer the ground, the less injuries. And so, I think it's great to have proper soft ground, and if it's a slow finish, it doesn't matter. We get a winner, and it's I think it's good.
So we're taking Envoy Allen on then.
We're taking that on. We'll move on to what with later. Tiger Roll, another key horse. I mean, he's so popular. Having won a couple of Grand Nationals, he's not very big. He absolutely bolted up in this race last year, but the vibe has been very mixed this time around.
I thought he ran a great race the other day over hurdles.
Yeah. Over way too short.
Way too short. He, for me, he's a certainty of the meeting.
Really?
Yeah, I'd rather back him at even money than I would Paisley Park at 8 to 11.
Yeah.
He's good enough to run a Gold Cup. His rating, he'd run well in a Gold Cup, and I think he'd run very well in this year's Gold Cup. And he's running in a cross-country race, but I'm sure they're doing that.
Is that too quirky? Is it too much of it? It's not just a normal race, though, Carl, though, is
no,
it?
very much. But he's great at it. I mean, he's a very clever horse, and he's just got the jumping sass, hasn't he? But he, I think if you ran the Gold Cup, he'd probably have a much harder race, believe it or not, over a shorter distance.
And they just don't. Well, so many of them struggle to recover, don't they, from that?
From the Gold Cup.
Clear,
to go to the National after that.
To run at Cheltenham, he just has to participate, doesn't he, in order to qualify for the Grand National. You just get the impression that he hasn't been quite as wound up this time around than
Gordon's
last year.
done it, as he's proven many times, he's a great trainer, and he knows the horse well, and he knows what's best to get him to the National in the best condition. And I'm sure this is the best route.
Okay, so he's a nap in Carl's book. What about you?
The whole country loves Tiger Roll.
Yeah.
The fact that he's running in the cross country, I was like, what other race could he possibly run in? You've already said if he runs in this, he qualifies for the Grand National. And there's no doubt in my mind that we'll win, lose or draw. I think his main aim would be the Grand National again.
Do you think he can win 3 Grand Nationals?
Yep. For the same reason that Carl just said, if he jumps the quirky fences, what's the cross country? 3.6. It's about 3 miles 6 furlongs.
3.6,
something like that. Yeah. If he stands up and he jumps and he wins because he's the best quality in the world. I mean, talking about football, you're talking about quality football players. Quality horses normally that's what they have. They have that quality that's everything that a top racehorse needs to have, and I don't think Tiger Roll has done anything for me to think that. I probably want to bet. I don't really like the race because I think it's so difficult.
It's a fun race to watch, isn't it?
With Tiger Roll in
Look
it,
at you.
With Tiger Roll in it's now made the thing different for me because it's almost as though I think everybody else is playing for a place.
I think he adds a lot to it, doesn't he?
He does,
now he's got such
a
following.
Yeah.
I think everyone this year will be really intrigued.
Without him in the race, I'm not a great fan of the race, and I'm not knocking it, but for me, it's not.
If he wins this, it'll be even money for the Grand National, by the way. Maybe even
you should back him now then.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah.
for the National, because he will win.
But to be honest, that's probably what I might do is disregard this cross country and just bet him for the National already. But that could be the kiss of death right there. But I think you're right, and I think Tiger Roll running at Cheltenham in such a race is just hyped the thing up even more. To be honest, he's short. What price is he short?
He is
even money.
He's even money.
Is
yeah, bet Victor even money.
Well,
Champion Bumper, appreciate it. Has been a real hype horse, hasn't he, for Willie Mullins? As I said, he's looking to win the race for a 10th time, which is pretty impressive. He's got the best form in the book. Is he one you'd take on or be with?
I think I'd always take one on in the bumper. Yeah. I mean, Willie's, as you say, won it a lot of times, but he does have a hell of a lot of runners, and he has some.
And he can easily win it with a second, third, or fourth string.
Very easily, because they're not really second, third, fourth. They just haven't shown as much on the course in limited appearances. So I think it's a tricky race from that point of view for the favourite. In the past, it's proven that we've had plenty. They're not shocks, are they? Because they're young horses, and we haven't. Yeah. They improve at different rates, and so. No, I wouldn't be. Although he's well regarded, I wouldn't be involved.
One of my favourite races at Cheltenham, the Bumper.
Really?
I love it for the simple reason there'll be an unknown quantity in there. Genuinely, many favourites have been beaten in the Bumper. Got to be a lot.
I'd say a lot.
A lot. I'd say. Genuinely. For other punters that are going to Cheltenham who like a bet.
It's not a getting out stakes, is it? If you've been struggling in the day, it's not one you'd get your money back.
It's one of my favourite races for sure. I appreciate it's probably as good as we're talking about Envoy Allen.
Last year.
The Bumper. I'm trying to remember what was the one that was about 2 or 3 years ago. Is it Cod? The young boy, was it Cod? One of the jockeys. This thing came over and it couldn't get beat from Ireland.
Yeah.
Can't remember the name of it now. Sorry about that.
I know the one you mean.
There's a lot of those, isn't there?
And it was almost as much as.
But
the Irish were hanging their hat on, and it got turned over, and it's a dangerous betting race for sure. Yeah. It's one of my favourite races.
This race is really tough on horses.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about what we were talking about earlier about never getting a break and turning away from the stands, going downhill, they don't even jump anything. And so they never get a breather to jump. You never get a jockey sitting still for even a few strides and getting a breather going into a jump or on landing. They just always, you jump off and you're flat out.
Is this, so anything they've done before in any of the bumpers they've ran in before, etc., there's no real form to take in the race, Carl, is it? Or is it just
there's nothing that is like this race.
What, just in that this is
Speed.
a completely different
It's
test.
speed, they go a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And in all bumpers, generally you're teaching young horses, and especially in Ireland, they race on soft ground. These horses on very soft ground, they go steady. They don't want to be finishing absolutely knackered because they're going quick. So actually, quite rightly, they've gone steady to educate horses and give them a good experience and want them to come back for more. Then they come to Cheltenham and they jump off, and the run to the stands is flat out. And you spend a lot of, obviously there are exceptions, but generally you spend a lot of the time in the race going, come on,
When was the
keep
last
up,
time
come on.
Mullins didn't have the favourite for the bumper, by the way?
Yeah, I wouldn't know
Or
about them
Gordon
stats,
Elliott.
but it'd be interesting,
You
wouldn't
said
it?
he won it 10 times. I wouldn't put it past him to be 11. I'll still be going through the form thinking that this horse will like the ground. This horse ran at, I don't know, it need to be a galloping track in Ireland, which would be where?
A big galloping track.
Leopardstown?
Yeah, Leopardstown, Punchestown,
Probably
that's
not
right.
so much Punchestown.
Not so much as Leopardstown.
No, but Leopardstown, and maybe something that's around there, one of the Irish or something or other, or one of the ones here that, I don't know, that Alan King has got, or whomever it might be.
Yeah, there's plenty in there lurking. They're all unexposed, pretty much.
Race.
So they're unknown quantities.
A lot of very good horses can't handle the race, and they actually they finish 5th, 6th, 7th, and they actually can turn out to be very, very good horse themselves.
You've said a couple of times you're happy to take on X, Y, and Z. I'd take a favourite in the bumper on every single day.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah, so would I.
Especially after that good thing. I nearly had the name of the horse there. It doesn't really matter.
Okay, we've spoken about 5 horses that are going to be quite short price favourites throughout the week. Let's move on to best bet of the week.
Oh boy.
Well, my best bet, I mean, I don't bet anyway, but for me, the biggest certainty at a price that's going to make you money is Tiger Mill.
Oh, really?
He's a Gold Cup horse running in a cross-country race, and you think about what normally runs in cross-country races, obviously besides him the last few years, they're good handicappers, and they deserve their place, but this is a Gold Cup horse. He's different class, and he will win, and he's buying money, even money.
I'm not going to go against you, I can't. The only thing is, and I know we'll get to it eventually, I don't see Altior even winning this year, and I think Defi de Soul would be my bet of the week.
Okay.
Which is a really competitive race.
I cannot wait for the Champion Chase.
I
think it's a phenomenal race.
Don't you tip it, Carl, for God's sake. That's all we need. If Carl tips what I did. But when I was looking through, and you're right, I mean, even money, Tiger Roll, if it's the best horse in the race and the quality in the race, I should just go with you. But trying to get an even bigger price in a really competitive race that the world, or not the world, but the majority of Cheltenham will be dying for Altior to win the race. I think Defi de Soul would be my bet of the week.
Okay, I like Min in the Ryanair. Second.
Can't have that horse anymore.
But it's only because you've lost so much money on him.
What's his
you
name?
Can't desert him yet.
Richie.
Richie.
Colours. I love those colours. But every time
they haunt you.
Min for me was a standing dish. It didn't matter if he ran in Dubai, which he obviously never has. I just mean, it doesn't matter if he'd ran in Ireland, if he'd ran it doesn't matter where he'd run.
You followed him.
I followed him.
Okay, well, don't desert him this time around. I'm telling you.
What's he running in?
He's running in the Ryanair. Second
Ryanair?
in the Supreme. Okay, so these are all races you backed him in. 5 times Grade 1 winner. A really good second to Chacun Poursuit and a really good time at the Dublin Festival. I think this is Men's Day.
A Plutar, did it not win last year?
It did, but it's got a lot more on its plate this time around. It was impressive last year.
Very impressive last year. Yeah.
But this is tougher.
Frodon,
Anyway.
Frodon will be popular as well.
Look, that's my nap of the week,
Ridden
okay?
by a girl.
You're not going to
Ridden by a lady.
persuade
You don't
me
have to mention, You
otherwise.
should mention that now. It's just a.
Oh, just a rider. Oh, sorry,
yeah,
we can't say that. But that's the reason she's our bet of the week.
She's just a jockey.
Yeah, exactly. She's just a jockey. Anyway, sorry. Well, I'll definitely get that beat Min all day long.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I hope those colours and Min come back to haunt you the one
you,
time.
I
The
hope
one
you're right.
time that you're not weighing
Yeah,
in with Min.
exactly.
Who is going to be top trainer of the week?
It's a big shot. Willie Mullins and Gordon Elliott. They've numerically got the most chances. some great chances. And
Before we come on, Carl, sorry to interrupt, you said that Gordon Elliott's bringing over 50 horses or something.
Yeah, no, I said that.
I mean,
I think
that's an
he said that the
incredible
other day. He said on Sunday he was looking to bring about 50 horses.
So numerically, surely he must have had a chance of being top trainer, though.
Yeah, and he nearly always picks up a few of the handicaps, and he's got some fantastic chances. So I'd just about side with him.
Willie's the one that's got the ammunition in the championship races, but they're hard to win. Gordon has a stack of horses in the handicaps, and they can easily be won by second, third, fourth, and fifth strings. That's where I think he might have the edge. At the prices, he's second favourite. Willie's obviously favourite to be champion trainer, and I'm not surprised with the ammunition he's got, but it's harder than it looks, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It depends the way your cards fall.
I can't really see past them two, and at the prices I'd probably side with Gordon.
Right, who's going to be top jockey?
Oh,
Paul Townend 2-1, Davy Russell 3s, Barry Geraghty 11-2, and then it's 6-1 bar. These are bet Victor prices.
Well, it's a Trainers' Championship. The trainer's title is Paul Townend, isn't it? So I think maybe at the for value, maybe Davy Russell.
He's a rowing jockey at Cheltenham as well, isn't he?
Well,
he is unbelievably
he's
good.
great everywhere. Yeah, he's in the latter stage of his career, but he's got better and better. And
many runners will he have in Townend? He must have over the 4 days. He'll probably have.
There's 28 races.
28 races. He's probably got 16 rides.
Oh, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And good quality ones as well. And
yeah. I'd say
5 or 6 of them are favourites.
Yeah.
And I can't remember this, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but what's the normal win ratio for the top jockey?
Well,
5, 6 winners.
Yeah, 5, 6, 7, and that's good years,
I think it's fair to say that there are certain jockeys that excel at Cheltenham over others. Does that come into your calculations when you're having a look?
Yeah, and Davy Russell, he makes very, very few mistakes in big races. I mean, any races, but obviously these are big races, so he makes very few mistakes.
And what is it? Timing, I guess, is a big thing, isn't it? You go a little bit too soon and you're going to get caught.
Yeah, he's got confidence in his own ability and his own judgment. And if he's ideal, if his plan A was to sit third or fourth and he thinks they're going too quick, he's not bothered, and he'll go his speed, and he doesn't think I should be closer. He's actually happy there. He's just got a lot of self-belief and confidence, and he's great at an obstacle. And he's strong, and he's just got a good head on his shoulders, and he's together with the riding ability.
I don't think I've ever had a bet in the top jockey at Cheltenham in 20, 30 years.
No.
For the simple reason it is the biggest minefield of all time, because way back in the day when I used to go to Cheltenham with Pete Skoo, when you were riding for Twiston Davis at the time, and beforehand I used to go to the races and think, the horses are this, the horses are that, and knowing the guys and get to become friends with what it actually entails to A, sit in a horse, B, jump a fence and not fall off it and get injured. I'm like, no, it's every time you jump the fence, I'm like, no, anything can happen, genuinely. And I know that David Russell probably won't fall, and hopefully the horses are fine, etc., but I'm like, anything can happen in National Hunt, and that would be one that I would just probably never have a bet.
What about top jockey trainer? Just to kind of recap, we all agree Paul Townend's the one they've got to beat from the jockey's point of view, and we both think Gordon Elliott with just ammunition.
I never mentioned Barry Geraghty, by the way, but is that not?
Yeah,
well,
he's
no,
an
we just
11
didn't.
to 2 shot. Another
yeah.
one who's brilliant at Cheltenham.
Yeah, exactly. So and plus as well, he'll be riding all the JPs, I'm presuming. Or
He's probably got 5 or 6 outstanding chances as well. A little bit like Rachel. Probably hasn't got 20 rides.
No.
20 like Paul would, but still, as you say, don't worry about it.
There you go.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that, shall we? You persuaded us.
No, because I'm just not having Gordon Elliott this time. I'm not.
Okay. You might not get rich with that particular
No.
double. But anyway, let's look. Yeah, we were trying to be a bit more original. Well, good luck with your bets. Make sure you gamble responsibly, and let's hope you're lucky.